What happens when you get what you finally wanted? It just feels just as empty once you do reach it. You see, I know that feeling all too well because when I got my dream car, nothing changed. That feeling that something was missing was still there. When I got the women I wanted, exact same thing. And this is exactly why I don't teach men how to get women, because there's an empty pursuit. I can't sell your transformation based on that because I'll be lying to you. There's nothing to it. This is for the man who's chasing success, validation, but knows that there's something more to that. He knows that once he reaches there, there's something else that needs to be fulfilled. Until I broke that pattern, that's who I used to be. I want to take you on a journey in this video where I show you how not only I broke that pattern, but how you can do the same. Let's dive in. It all started from my childhood. I had a unique name, grew up in an environment where I was different by default, pretty much only the only black kid in the area. And as I grew up, there was this need of needing to overcompensate because of the difference being created. You see, I couldn't just own my presence. I had to I had to give reasons as to why I had to own my presence. So I was in this loop where if I didn't feel like the presence I had was enough, then I'd have to overcompensate by doing extra work, by taking extra strides. I lost the ball at football, I'll take an extra lap just to make sure that that never happened to me again, even though it still happened, because it's just part of how the game goes, right? But it was this delusion that if I overcompensated, then I'll feel like I was present enough. Let me tell you what it's like to be invisible. When it's time to talk, everyone else gets to talk, but you. Your voice doesn't matter. And even though you're about to say something, they've moved on to the next topic. You're in a group and they're sharing their memories, and you couldn't go to those events because your parents couldn't afford to take you there. Or you're on your way home from football and everybody else's family has their parents picking them up. Whilst you gotta figure it out on your own. You haven't earned the right to be visible. You're not seen. I remember vividly what those emotions done to me. Or they became fuel. Oh yeah. They became the very drive every morning will get me doing the craziest things. But you see, overworking, overcompensating, and overachieving to fill that gap never amount to the equation. It's an illusion. It's like chasing your own tail, hoping that by speeding up, you're gonna be able to catch it. The distance is never gonna make up for the lack of speed. We don't want success. What we do want is to feel like we're enough. We just go about it the wrong way. I've had millions of views in different platforms. With my wife on TikTok, here on YouTube I've amounted to 3,000 plus views in the space of less than a year. On LinkedIn, probably 10,000 again. So the numbers were there, right? But the feeling was still the same. And here's me thinking to myself, I just need to get more views. I just need to get to 1 million views. Then I'll feel seen. I That's a lie you're telling yourself. That's what I had to realize. The moment one person sees it, if that person's the right person, you've changed someone's life. And the moment my mind shifted from that space, I promise you I was never the same person. Because I had to show up for that one person. You see, for the past, let's call it, I can't even remember. I can't remember, probably 2 years now, probably I think a year, 2 years, whatever the case is. I've been showing up consistently on YouTube. No care in the world for the amount of views I got. People ask me, how are you so consistent? Because I'm showing up for one person. And if I can show up for that one person properly and their life changes, my job is done. The pattern of wanting to feel seen and feeling like you need to top up the wrong thing to keep the wheel turning is exactly what's having us burn out. Imagine an overcompensator once he understands human nature and female nature. Of course I overcompensated. I overcompensated in any area you can think of. I got my salary job, I got my state agency role. Within 3 years I became the youngest branch manager. Was that enough? No. You see, every single thing I touch, because I wanted to feel seen, would turn into this overworked thing that I was trying to overcompensate for. And if my efforts didn't work out, I'll just end up burning out and looking like a fool. But each time I touched something, I was going to overcompensate because I wanted to be visible. I wanted to be at the top because I know what it's like to be at the bottom. I know what it's like not to be seen. I know what it's like not to feel heard. You don't get to have a say when you're not seen. But what I forgot was I didn't give myself permission to be seen. And I didn't need no one else's permission. You see, if your idea of being seen is based on the validation of others, or no one sees me until I'm at 1 million or trillion views. You know what's so funny about those people? They don't care about being seen because they know they're seen. Even if it's a 500k video or 1 million views, they're still seen, they know that. And so are you. You're seen. Might be 2, 3 people, but you're seen. I need you to stop running this lap. Give yourself permission. You are okay the way you are. You can improve, of course, but don't do that because you want to fulfill or you want to fulfill something. The idea of chasing a feeling is emptiness. Some of you are chasing women because you're hoping that you're going to feel seen by the right one. And what you're doing is you're trying to fill this void that's in Jamaica with this void that's in Trinidad. It don't add up. The void that you need to fill is the void inside of you. And until you feel that, you're always going to feel like there's something out there that you need to look for. I'm only telling you this because that's what I've done. I've done it so many times. When it came to women, my career, my finances, listen, every single time it mattered, I needed to figure out a way to be seen. Understood how human nature works. I was like, okay, cool, let's take it to the next level. Let's fill out the bucket list. Once I filled out that bucket list, I promise you, I have never felt so empty. What did I get in return? A line of women asking me when am I coming back to see them. Nothing to it. It was empty. You want to know why I don't do what other coaches do, which is, hey, listen, I can get you to sleep with as many women as you need to. It's because it's boring. And if you haven't realized that by now, maybe we shouldn't work together. I'm not here to help you sleep with multiple women. No. I'm here if you're driven, if you're focused on your mission. You need guidance in understanding how to shift your paradigm into focused direction that allows you to penetrate with effectiveness. That's what I want to help you with. You see, I had to stop performing the way I want you to stop performing. I had to cut the match in half, end the game, and just sit with my emotions. Write them down. This is how I felt. This is why I felt how I felt. I had to sit with the little boy who has been carrying me this whole time. Because you see, what we don't realize is that this is only happening because somewhere along the line, you changed and you started to feel like this could solve your problems out. This specific pattern. It's a program, it's an update. It's like you buying an iPhone 2 and unknowingly not knowing that the iOS application was never updated since then. So in my case, I had this 7-year-old running up the program. He was right there saying, I'm not good enough. And because I'm not good enough, I need to do better. And I can only do better by doing more. That was the program that was running for me this whole time. Every single time I didn't feel seen. That was it. Not good enough, need to do more. There's a shift you're gonna need to do, which leads us to the next part of this video. You need to go from please see me to I see myself. And when you see yourself, it's a beautiful transformation because you get to see the real you and you start to realize no one ever owned your presence. You see, I don't teach men how to be womanizers or what's the word? Confident and blah 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 and the alpha blah blah, all this bullshit. No, I teach men how to be authentic to themselves, how to unravel the blocks that were causing them not to see who they truly were. And what that does for you is it gives you the peace and clarity to see how the most important decision in your life can be done based on a strong foundation. Because I kid you not, so many men fall into the biggest issues just based off this one decision. And the moment your decision is distorted because you're tilt on one side or you're tilt on the other side, it's not looking good. You are gonna make the biggest decision of your life a gamble. Why is this so important to me? I'll tell you. I've seen what divorce does, not just to a kid, but to a family. And I said, I want no part in that. I want no part in that. I refuse to see what divorce does to my children. I refuse to see what a loveless household looks like to my children. And that's why I understood what I understood, and this is what I'm sharing today, so that you don't have to face the pain I faced. Exactly what I go through my coaching. I just help you. There's nothing special to it. Yeah, I may help you dress and give you perks on body language and how to attract the right person and present yourself in a bodily manner. Again, you're gaining the experience of an international speaker being able to share his insights with you. You have access to some of the people I have access to, and that's great, fantastic. But what I really do is this. I help you go from please see me to I see myself. And when you see yourself, you're unstoppable. You own the room. You don't just own the room, you own you. And anybody else that's trying to own you will know that that vacancy is filled. I want you to ask yourself this. If you're seeking validation, who are you trying to impress? Because that list should be very fucking empty. You should not try to impress nobody, because the only reason why you're trying to impress someone is because you're not impressed by yourself. The second question I want you to ask is, who will you become when you stop impressing or trying to impress? Because I want you to comment, by the way, if you felt this loop, but the shift that gives you is it sets you free, especially in the society we're in today, where everyone is so consumed with how you come across, what pictures you got on your Instagram, how's your LinkedIn looking like, what is my boss gonna think of what I say here, and blah blah blah. Do I lose my credibility? Listen, you see, this is one thing I'm happy I went through: failure. Unlike the most of you, maybe not necessarily you guys watching this video, but some people I've worked with in the past have been so adverse to failure. I can see why they need to impress. You see, the need to impress, it shows that you're fragile. You know, when you failed more times than you can count, fragility is just fable, because you failed. You've seen that thing crack way more than you needed to. And the more you get good at understanding that failure isn't your enemy, but it's actually the very thing that allows you to build with strength, you're gonna keep running, hoping to impress. Oh, I hope I don't ruin this. So let me put my best foot ahead. I'm telling you, you're playing a losing game. Listen, here's the thing. Until you understand this, right, you are going to carry on repeating this mistake. This shift requires more than just questions. It requires an identity shift. But in order for you to create this identity shift, you need to acknowledge that there's need for the change to happen. So, if there's something, you can do this by yourself. I did it through coaching. I spoke to amazing influencing life coaches and whatnot. If you want to do this by yourself, look, by all means, it's possible. Nothing's impossible, by the way. You want to do this within 90 days or even less, within 2 days, so that you get to save yourself time and stress and pain. Let's book a call and let me see how I can help you. Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It's up to you, honestly. But has it helped people? Absolutely. And my aim here, the reason why I come on here and talk the way I'm talking is not because I'm this guru guy, no. I just want to help people save time, but at the same time, I'm a businessman, so yes, it does need to make sense for me, because as much as I would love to do this for free, this is why I'm doing this video. But if you actually want to work with me on a one-to-one basis, well, you're gonna have to pay. So, without further ado, I really hope this has helped you. And if you're an entrepreneur or a high-performing individual who's stuck and doesn't know how to shift from feeling the accomplishments to shifting to being filled regardless of what he accomplishes, book a call and I'll see how I can help you. But nevertheless, let's build a better relationship, one conversation at a time. And I'll see you in the next video. I'm rooting for you. Peace.